Alright guys, welcome back to game number 2 between Mercury and Jjakji here at the WCS Challenger League Qualifier. Starting to the top right, we have the player for SKT1. He's starting in blue. It is Mercury. He's down a game already after losing on Daybreak. His opponent to the bottom right, of course, Jjakji, the player who's in the lead. He needs one more game to win this series and advance to the finals, if I'm not mistaken. I think we are currently in the round of 4. Jjakji, of course, playing for NS Hosa, the Terran player in red. Let's see if he can pull it off again.
Yep, find out. Just his brilliant defense in game 1 is what secured him an early lead that he was able to capitalize on. Shut down the drop with like no losses, kills almost everything Mercury sends at him.
Dude, that double drop to the top left, that nearly killed me. I felt so sorry for Mercury. This is one of those times when you just want to walk over and you want to give him some chocolate or some ice cream and be like, there, boy, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be alright. There's still game number 2, you can still pull this off. But yeah, I mean, if you're heading out with a double drop and you get shut down even before you cross the middle of the map, that's like a slap in the face.
It certainly was. I could feel the hand smack the face on that one.
Well, here we have the refinery first, the really early refinery before... Oh, actually, he did not get it first, right?
No,
yeah, okay, I just didn't have it on screen.
Yeah, it was 13.
Like, yeah, I was like, okay, that was weird, yeah. So, barracks, but still an early gas for him. Jjakji, on the other hand, might just go into a command center after barracks. He took the gas a little bit late in game number 1, and could do the same thing here, and he does.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do a reactor expand again. You know, what works in game 1 may work in game 2, so don't blame him for that.
Yeah. Top right now, of course, one of the things that we have is the question whether what exactly Mercury is going to do here. With the early gas, it looks like he wants to be aggressive again, and in the last game he has shown us that he attacks with Marines and Hellions and 1 Medivac. There are a few other attacks that he could execute, but he's actually starting with a Reaper first that will give him the scouting information that he needs to find out what Jjakji is doing here.
Yeah, this is going to, you know, on a big map like this, Reapers are so much more useful because when you're walking across trying to scout, as Mercury is doing right now with your SCV, it takes forever. He goes to the watchtower first, now he scouts the first base, and the Reaper could have been to like the watchtower and the second base by now.
Look at this, how Jjakji is actually hiding this 1 SCV in this corner of the map. That is really smart. So now he has a scout in his opponent's main base that he can use later on. I personally would love to see a proxy bunker, proxy missile turrets, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, certainly not gonna happen.
That might happen against a bronze player, but not on this level. But yeah, would be awesome if Terran like had one of the structures that could attack immediately, and he would just proxy it right now. Would make a fun, entertaining game, but this is of course just to have a scout there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and he finds it.
That's unfortunate. But he probably saw it from the command center already, and Jjakji didn't realize. But yeah, talking about the command center, we have command center now being built for Mercury. The same is true for Jjakji.
And there are those Reapers still to continue to be harassing.
Yep.
He has now until 3, I believe. No, only the 2. He's got something with those Reapers. What is that? Is that an SCV? Yeah, okay. So he's going to bring the SCV with him.
Going up the ramp, trying to find out if there are Marines, where they are positioned so that he can circumvent them. And this is exactly what we see here. The Reapers are already in the main base. And this is of course now a little bit annoying. The first Marine is already dead and gone. And now he's starting to pick off the SCVs. Jjakji has to be careful here. He's losing for the first Harvester already. Trying to set up a bit of a flank here. And he catches the Reapers. Can he take down the second one? No, not just yet. 2
more shots would have done it, but gets away.
And now, of course, the new drugs are kicking in for the Reaper. They're really just drug addicts. The Marines already on stim.
But this is the only drug I know that's like actually good for you. You see what I'm saying? Like it gives you your health back. It's the only one I know, man. It's like really good for you. Look at that. What are the side effects of combat drugs?
I don't know.
Like they have to have some sort of side effect. There has to be some sort of trade-off.
Well, I certainly don't want to try them out. There have definitely be a few side effects. I guess temporary insanity might be one of them.
Yeah.
Makes you like really jumpy. It's
or
like,
maybe
it's
like
having too much coffee, you know, you just jump the entire time. That's actually why Reapers are jumping up and down cliffs. They don't actually have a jetpack. Oh, well, that's a side effect right there.
Yeah. Well, you know the other side effect is suddenly your guns don't do as much damage, and everybody's talking about it.
That might definitely be one of them.
Jjakji's got a great defense here.
Yeah, we have Widow Mines now for him, and that already helps him against those Hellions if they should be a bit too aggressive. But let's not forget that we also have a Starport with a Medivac. So, ooh, there comes the Widow Mine, and does he get a Widow Mine shot off? Widow Mines actually did not get a single shot off. That was a little bit annoying. He just repositioned them, didn't he?
Yeah. Now he's going to go for the drop.
Widow Mine drop incoming against the expansion of Mercury, who doesn't have Widow Mines but knows what's coming. That's why we have him with a missile turret here, and also a Viking in a position to defend.
With the Viking and the turret finishing up right around the same time that Medivac's can arrive, this could be a disaster for Jjakji. It's a big expensive drop he may lose.
He has the speed boost, and
he actually runs in.
He runs in, drops the first Widow Mine, denies mining time here, goes into the main base, the Marines are there, where's the Viking?
To drop it out. Drop it out.
Drop it like it's hot, because it is too late. Yeah,
oh, this was a disaster.
And the Widow Mine doesn't do anything, drops the double mule here. That was worth it.
He lost some mine time, but that was about it, and not enough.
That was just a short pull from the SCVs, and the mining time loss, as you said, that doesn't make up for what he just sacrificed here.
Yeah. Well, the supply is still relatively even, and Mercury starts his trademark third command center.
37 to 39 harvesters at this point, and the tanks once again, this time for Jjakji a little bit faster, already has 2. The economy is good for both of these players, but Mercury has a little bit of a lead thanks to the good defense that he just pulled off.
Yeah, Hellions try to sneak across the map. He wants to see if Jjakji has a third command center hidden. Oh, I misclicked the watchtower, there he goes.
Well, Jjakji is still in the lead here. He has the 1-0 over his opponent, so if he wins this map, he will already be through. But if he actually loses, then he still has a third game where he can show off his skills and take the chance to advance to the next round of the qualifier. So Mercury is really holding on in this game and trying to win it and save himself the chance to advance to the next round. He's the one where everything is on the line.
Yeah, everything is on the line, and he has to be very careful. He doesn't want to lose to any weird, risky play that Jjakji might throw at him. Speaking of Jjakji, he's behind in upgrades. It's one of the things that he does not have going for him just yet. You can see he's just slightly behind, but behind he is.
Yep, they don't have upgrades just yet, but they are researching them, and as we'll mention, we have Mercury already with the +1 attack rate a little bit faster than his opponent. But he didn't start Stim just yet. We don't have Stim, we don't have Combat Shield, which is a little bit odd in this situation. That's definitely a set of upgrades that you want to start as soon as possible. At least the Stimmer, that is.
You know, this game is so funny because of the situation both players are in. It's so hard for either of them to be aggressive, so we just kind of have to sit back and wait. It looks like Jjakji's finally considering moving out and taking this third.
Yep, we have Hellions now being just at the side of the map, whereas a few Vikings are guarding the top left. Here come the Hellions trying to move in. Well, that was taking a risk that didn't pay off.
Yeah, he's going to lose all of them, in fact.
Yep. You know what? I'm really surprised. I actually think that not getting Stim is a mistake. He's getting Combat Shield. Sorry, now he's getting Stim. Sorry, I actually mixed up the 2 production tabs for a second, and thought he didn't get it at all.
Jjakji doesn't have either of them though, and
I'm
sorry, Mercury doesn't have either of them, and Jjakji has Stim, so he has this opportunity here.
He definitely does.
Does he realize it though? You know, he seems to.
I think he does. He has a lead here, and he might just move in right now. And he stims. He stims and moves in. Is he able to pull it off? No, not without Combat Shield. That's too many hit points lost. Jjakji just lost a huge supply lead. He tries to boost away with the Medivacs, but the Vikings are too fast.
You know, without Combat Shields, I don't see why he thought that was the best choice there. I guess he just kind of had an instinct, and it did not pay off in this case.
Yeah, it was a failed attempt to be aggressive, but now suddenly he's looking at a 20 supply deficit on the SKT1 player. Mercury is doing a decent job here. He's actually doing a really good job. So that is very, very bad for Jjakji here in the second game in the best of 3.
Yeah, Jjakji needs to just be patient now and solidify his position. Look at his armory, how behind it is. He is so bad behind in upgrades. He's going to be...
It's also the worker count. I mean, look at the worker supply here. That's a 13 supply worker lead for Mercury. A full saturation at base number 3. The better income by far. Looking at nearly 3,000 with those additional mules. Much more than Jjakji, especially in gas. So that's a huge problem. Jjakji realizes it. This is exactly the reason why he moves out.
Jjakji is going to try to get a better siege up position and trade some of his units better against Mercury to try to close that gap. He has to be the aggressor right now, because if he sits back and defends, then Mercury is going to take you know, eventually too much of a lead. Look at his upgrades; they're just so significantly behind. He's about half a cycle behind his opponent.
There's a double drop once again, and so far Mercury wasn't too lucky with his drops, but this time he could actually move in. There are 2 missile turrets and Marines waiting. This is the biggest problem that he's facing.
Yeah, if he tries to boost over, then he could find himself stimmed down, and this is exactly what happens. I think we're going to have maybe a repeat, just barely not.
Oh, they're still trying to run away. Nice with the...
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, those guys are not going to move.
Oh, I cannot believe he did that. Wow.
He didn't even wait for the speed boost. Even with the speed boost, you can't speed boost over that. Not with 18 hit points. Those guys are dead. The 2 Marines won't move for the entire game, and they will pin down these forces to the bottom right.
Jjakji getting a little bit lucky with that. That really helps him close the gap in supply.
By the way, we're not looking at this drop anymore from this point on. I'm probably going to miss when it dies. Just consider it dead. It won't survive. If there are 2 Marines left, it just won't survive. That's not going to happen. That's dead supply right there.
Watchtower control is so important right now, because whoever holds the watchtower does not have to scan. And Jjakji holds it for a moment. Vikings come in though.
Yeah, taking down the medivac that he actually didn't need in this situation anymore. Nearly taking down the second one.
This is a problem in Game 1 and in Game 2. The medivac is dead.
Down, by the way.
Yep.
Medivac is dead.
Jjakji just cutting the Vikings out gives him this problem with moving forward. Last game he had so many units it didn't matter, but this time he's behind and he's getting bullied a little bit.
You know, Mercury is now with the supply advantage, moving in, using his stim, trying to get into position. Both of them are sieging up. Jjakji a little bit faster. He's getting those shots off. Mercury, though, with the Vikings can do a lot of damage, and Jjakji just gets cleaned here. Mercury is cleaning house, taking down this army. He can expand now. He can get additional upgrades if he wants. He actually does it, and he has a 40 supply lead over his opponent already.
Yeah, Jjakji is falling apart fast here. I mean, it's just really good play that we're seeing from Mercury. Patient, slow siege tank pushing across the map.
Much better than what he has shown us in game number 1.
Yeah, last game he was just aggressive. Jjakji shut him down, but when it comes to late game, Mercury's showing that he definitely has the skills.
And he's just rallying units across the map now. Even taking another base, he can saturate a 4th if he want to. Jjakji is really just trying to somehow come back into this game, but you can already see it, the resources lost. 7,600 against 5,200.
Yeah, and Mercury, he's just got total control over the map. What I'd like to see him do is take another base, which I think he's about to do at the top left. He's got something going up there, but
he might actually just try to end the game, and he's stimming in once again. He had a couple of those Marines for Jjakji covering the siege tanks. The Marine line for Mercury is already gone, but it doesn't really matter too much with this many tanks backing them up.
That was like the perfect engagement for Jjakji, and it's still not enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can really see that the only thing that's happening here is just Mercury pushing Jjakji further back and back the entire time. Something that Jjakji tries to circumvent, but having a few Marines running into the mineral line and also setting a drop up to the top left.
Yep, that drop to the top left actually could do some serious damage. The Marines distract some of the other units. He lands here, misses the command center at the top left, but more importantly, we'll get the SCVs perhaps at the third base. No, he goes for the command center. Targets it though, and you know what?
I don't think you. Oh, it's actually only SCVs. He might, if there's not a repair, he might be able to save it. Yeah, there's a repair.
He should just go for the SCVs. And there he goes.
Takes it down one by one. There is going to be a planetary, so that's not going to be an issue. The Marines here being taken out as well. But now that the planetary is ready, Jjakji immediately loads up into the medivac and starts to speed boost over to the third.
Jjakji's taken a hidden base, and he has stabilized supply-wise, and he's about to be even up on upgrades. And he's ahead in tank upgrades.
Can he actually pull off a comeback? I mean, he's still far behind when you look at the bank, but still, he is doing everything that he can to come back into this game.
He is playing like a total baller right now, but he has to be careful in the middle of the map.
In the middle of the map, we suddenly have the siege tank sieging up again. Not much happening except for that, but still.
Just a tank for a tank.
Siege tank upgrade is still ahead for... No, actually, they are evened out again, but he will have the +2 attack upgrade a little bit faster. Jjakji, that is.
Yeah.
Actually, doesn't even just now started from Mercury.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be a whole cycle ahead for siege tanks, which actually makes a huge difference when you consider how many tanks are really shelling at those Marines. And +3 armor is started first for Mercury. Here we go.
Jjakji is so far behind with the upgrades. Yeah,
he tried to get that tank down with his Marines, does escape, and he's trading well. Jjakji could definitely come back in this game because Mercury doesn't know about the hidden base. He thinks that he's eventually going to run out of resources.
But only really if Jjakji does not attack now. He needs to wait a little bit longer. He's on 2-2 now. A few seconds ago he was behind an entire set of upgrades. But now the army of Mercury is moving to the bottom left. Will he realize that there's a hidden base? It doesn't really look like it.
Certainly doesn't. But he's actually leaving himself exposed here. And Jjakji could try to break through the middle.
They are on even upgrades right now, Wolf.
Oh wow, good siege tank hits for Jjakji. Taking out another siege tank. Not having the Vikings, though, is, again, becoming a problem. Jjakji's not able to heal his units. He's losing medevacs.
And he's sending in a few of those drops. Ooh, he could actually take down those 2 siege tanks, and he will.
Oh, Jjakji is so smart. He's just outdoing Mercury here with some of his multitasking tricks. And that hidden base is really keeping him alive. He's still down on resources, but he's trading more efficiently.
Yeah, has already everything set up. Needs to be careful with the drop, though. Mercury is finally fed up with this harass and trying to send a few units to the right to shut those units out. Only 1 Marine here. Upgrades are still even. Mercury a little bit ahead in the upgrades for the Marines. He will get the +3 earlier, but Jjakji, he has the lead in the tank upgrades.
He certainly does, but he's going to get trapped here. He wants to cut off some of the reinforcements, but it's a bit of a mistake. He gets spotted. Nice boost out. That was excellently done.
He could actually just
go in the middle.
Into the middle. Yeah, exactly. Drop in the middle and then move in. These forces have to just hurry over there. He could try to use the timing, but the problem is, of course, attacking in the siege up tank line is never a good idea.
The siege tank count is slightly Mercury's favor, 15 to 13. And Jjakji is trying to take now his normal 4th base.
Mercury in this late game is showing a few flaws in his play, but still he has this bank, and this is the more important part.
Yeah, this is just Mercury. He's got the bank, but he's got to be more careful with his units. He leaves himself open in so many different ways. He moves his Marine army too clumped up. He doesn't split well, so this gives Jjakji a few options to try to cut him off, try to catch reinforcements, and oftentimes, you know, Jjakji could have like run into those siege tanks in the middle of the map and picked them off. That would have been a great trade for him.
Yeah, right now we're going in once again. Here comes Jjakji trying to defend. Mercury identified that the NSO sub-player tries to take another base. Siege tanks are already sieged up. He's moving down, picking off a tank, forcing a stim. And forcing also a siege up, while we have a command center to the top left, trying to establish another base for Mercury. But the Marines for Jjakji, they're there. Only 2 of them, though.
Yeah, he's going to be able to save it, but it's going to lose a lot of its hit points in the meantime. And later on, that could be a big problem. Actually, he could get these SCVs instead, which would be a better trade.
He could kill a few of the SCVs, but he's completely content in just forcing this command center off. No drops on the map.
Yep, none at all. There's just many sensor towers for the players to consider drops, I guess.
You know, we have 16 to 15 siege tanks, and now this +3 attack upgrade that Jjakji is nearly completed is really coming into play. Besides the tank upgrades, we have them on even footage when it comes down to the Marines. Both of them have 3-3 Marines.
Yeah, 3-3 Marines, and Jjakji's starting to add the orbitals. He's building his own bank. He's behind in bank. That's the one thing he's behind on. But he's just kind of catching up and getting some more foothold in this game.
Well, here we have a double drop heading over. Oh, one of the drop ships goes down. Just barely a few Marines were there to save the day. And so far, the planetary is done. Wolf, he can take down every single harvester here.
This is the second time this has happened in this game. And Mercury is starting to get low on harvesters, down to 53.
There's another drop here. Jjakji is suddenly everywhere, and Mercury drops in supply. He still has the better bank, but harvesters killed in this game. 31 by Jjakji. He's really doing everything that he can to come back into this game, even taking down the command center here.
Yeah, the planetary does not finish. He cancels it and it dies. And Jjakji, even though he's down in bank, he's making bank by killing his opponent's economy. Workers left now 48 for Mercury. Yes, he does have the extra mules, but he needs those bases to mine from to keep up his economy. And the Viking switch
to 14,000 resources lost. We suddenly have now also the Vikings in the air taken out. Jjakji is playing a really great game here, but can he overcome the disadvantage in the minerals?
Yeah, that's the question. He's got a lot of orbitals finishing right now, which he'll be able to build up a bank to remax with. but until he can get additional bases on the map, he's never going to catch up in bank.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised that Mercury at no point even attempted to go into a switch in air. He's adding a lot of command centers and also orbital commands. He's just now starting the ship upgrades, but he never tried to switch or at least lay the groundwork for a switch.
Yeah, and Mercury's adding a few more barracks, but he was behind in that for a really long time, so now he's finally going to be able to really utilize his bank. We have a huge attack down to the bottom left. Meanwhile, Jjakji again is catching tank reinforcements.
He's actually catching a lot of those, taking out 2 tanks already, heading over into the third base with a few Marines. And this is once again just Jjakji wheeling away at the harvester numbers of Mercury. He killed so many in this game. He's going up to 50 soon.
Yeah, he just does not stop, and he can lift out with his medevac at any time. Mercury is just not having adequate base defense right now. He's always constantly too far forward with his army, and Jjakji punishes him for it time and time again. Mercury is okay with losing his harvesters right now because he has that bank, because he has these orbitals, and he just actually remaxes.
But he has to be careful, because at some point this could backfire. And it is the Terran player in red, it is the NSHOSA player who starts the ship upgrades here. We have him already researching them right at the armory, and looking at this, I have to say that I'm a little bit afraid that Mercury might lose his advantage here given time, because Jjakji, he's just playing great.
A bank is nothing if you can't spend it fast enough, and this is not a Protoss player. He can't use warp gates, so it's going to take time for him to remax if he loses an engagement, and Jjakji is building up to this.
Oh, here comes the huge army for Mercury, moving in, forcing Jjakji to reposition, but Jjakji already anticipated the move back with the command center, and Mercury still doesn't know about this base at the bottom right.
He still does not. The siege up is good for Jjakji, but it's a little bit behind. Mercury gets the first volley.
Yeah. Bottom left, that is, by the way.
And
still has no idea.
Yeah. The Vikings here for Jjakji that he started to switch into are giving him that vision advantage, and he can also go into later on a Raven switch, or even battlecruisers. Probably not, but it's possible.
Oh, he's dropping. He was tempted to drop, and then he saw the Marines heading in.
Forces a huge stim by Mercury, though.
And we have once more this medevac force to the top right. 2 drop ships headed into the opponent's base. There he has another drop. He has the medevac support. Can take down quite a few of those units, but in the end, the drop is being shut out.
Oh, Jjakji's going to tear through this production right now. There's nothing, and I mean nothing, to stop him. He has way too many Marines this time. 17 Marines coming out of time for Jjakji. He's got a better production, and he is just starting to eat away at his opponents slowly but steadily here. And Mercury needs to respond. Yeah, he's not doing anything.
He doesn't react at all, and those guys are just walking up the ramp into the main base, and now suddenly they can really start away at the production of his opponent. Mercury is deciding that it's time to go for it. It's a little bit panic mode.
He's so indecisive here, and Jjakji gets the better position. Mercury is trapped between a rock and a hard place, while his production facilities are being eaten up from the inside.
Nice position here now suddenly for Mercury, who moves into the bases of Jjakji, who immediately lifts the orbitals.
We're going to have a trade.
Back. They're going to have a trade. Jjakji decided that it's time to move to the top of the map. He's down in supply overall, but he is now trying to hit the third, and he's hitting it hard.
He's hitting it hard. He hit the production facilities of his opponent a little bit already, but the question becomes who can kill the bases faster. Let's look at the Marine count, because that's where the real DPS is. 65 versus 41. Jjakji having a huge deficit in Marines, and he's not producing right now, whereas Mercury still is. I think Mercury has an advantage here, even though he doesn't have the supply lead. A lot of the supply deficit he has is in his FCBs.
He has a lead here for sure, and Jjakji has to build more production structures at another place in the map if he wants to hold this. The big problem really being that he just doesn't have the bank for it.
He's making factories down the bottom left. He wants to get a siege tank hold up at the bottom left where he knows his opponent has not scouted him. If he can get enough siege tanks at the top of the ramp there and hold that location, that may be all he needs. He's now getting the production facilities in the main base. He has some sieged up tanks here on the center of the map as well.
Bottom right, all the units for Mercury are now in the main base of Jjakji, taking down the production of the Terran player for NSHOSA. The main base of Mercury, that is what Jjakji has to take down now. And he's sending in those medivacs. He knows exactly that he needs to save those siege tanks. He needs to kill these production facilities. If he can't do that, he's going to lose the game.
Yeah, Mercury is holding in his main base, but he's losing his little satellite bases around the map. Jjakji, though, still has that one hidden base at the bottom left, where he's now adding tech labs, and all he wants to do is mass up siege tanks at that location, get this high ground position where Mercury can't attack him anymore, and he'll be fine. He also wants to get cloaked banshees out. You can see that here, because once he kills all of the orbitals of Mercury, then not only can he spot his opponent's buildings, but it means no scans, and that's when cloaked banshees become extremely, extremely important in a base trade.
Funny as it is, the bank for Mercury is soon gone. It's not like has this bank anymore.
He lost all his bases.
Exactly, he lost his bases, he lost his ability to mine. And Jjakji, he's still mining, so if he can buy himself some time, it's going to be completely fine. He even has another command center over here. He could use all those mules. If he just would land those few orbital commands, he could mule it up.
Yeah, and I think he certainly is going to be doing that very soon. Jjakji also rebuilt a ton of supply depots already, so he has the ability to continue to produce units, even though he lost his entire main. So Mercury has a main base with a slowly declining bank with no income, whereas Jjakji made a new main base where he's making siege tanks and has the infrastructure to continue mining and continue his production.
Right now, actually, it looks a little bit like Mercury should start playing baseball, because this guy has a sick throw.
Yeah. Oh, I should have given you more credit for that joke, but
yeah,
this game is so intense right now. Like I'm so focused on what's happening. Jjakji's bottom left new center of command is looking terrifying. Even though he's down in supply right now and in army supply, look at that. He has 175 army supply. He has the better army by far, but given time, Jjakji, with also his position, may be able to turn this around.
Wolf, think about the cloak. We have cloak coming up, and how many command centers, how many orbitals do we have? Only 2. That is not a lot. There is a few scans, but there's not a single Raven on the map.
Mercury doesn't realize what's happening to the bottom left. He's just sitting here going, well, I'll just shell at your only mining base. There are 2 mining bases, and Jjakji is doing it. Mercury has no idea what's happening down there. This is insane. Yeah. I think he's got tunnel vision. I think he's feeling like
he thinks this is
he thinks the game is over, but it's not.
Yeah, he actually thinks this is the last stand of Jjakji. That's what he's assuming right now. And Jjakji is like, yeah, you can whittle away at those all day long, as long as I can buy myself some time.
Unfortunately, loses a full energy orbital, though, which he would have liked to have, dropping mules at that hidden base.
Posturing around a little bit. Here comes the drop on the siege tanks. Not just quite.
Jjakji is so smart. He keeps so many of his siege tanks over there instead of going to his riskier expansion because he wants his opponent to think that that's the last straw, that's the last stand.
And once again, I want to highlight this. This is the income, guys. This is nothing for Mercury, and a whole lot more for Jjakji.
He's just not even taking bases. He actually thinks this game is over, but it's not.
Well, I think it is over. Just not in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it may be if he does not get over there.
Maybe.
Finally, he starts to get an inkling of what's happening.
He scanned. He scanned and he saw. And now he's trying to move over. Now he knows what's going on here. And Jjakji, can he hold? This is the important part right now.
This may decide the entire game. He has a planetary here. He has a few siege tanks, but he needs to get them sieged up. He needs to get them in position. Marines trying to come down. These barracks are not ready yet.
Wait.
What's this hesitation? Mercury needs to do this now. He needs to get away from those Marines.
He doesn't want to drop into...
Oh my god!
He doesn't want to drop into the fortress and into the siege tanks.
I'm screaming so loud right now, I'm sure Mercury can hear me. He's feeling the same. He's losing everything he has. His supply lead is gone. This is the end of the game.
This has to be it. I mean, Jjakji is taking the supply lead right now. He's still mining. He has the base over here. He has all those orbitals left. Just look at the structures here. He has 5 orbitals against 2. He has the mining bases as well, the planetaries. Jjakji is actually pulling off a comeback in this game. A victory with a 2-0 against Mercury. The SKT1 KeSPA Terran is not looking good.
He's dead, man. He goes for his last stand here, takes out the last of those siege tanks. The stim is good for Jjakji, and Mercury is down to nothing.
This is it.
This
69 supply against 135. The army supply in favor of Jjakji, who is still mining, who is still getting units.
That's it. GG.
GG, and Jjakji pulls it off with a 2-0 victory.
Never underestimate Jjakji, man. That's what we learned in this game.
Jjakji in the next round. Well played, well played. Mercury defeated. Jjakji takes it with a 2-0.